Well, hello and welcome to the Spiritualist Circle of Light. Pleasure to see you, all of you. We're going to open with prayer. May God, who in the mystery of his vision and power transforms his white radiance into his many-colored creation, from whom all things come and into whom they all return, grant us the grace of pure vision. Amen. This is our time of sharing. After all, this is about you. And I will begin this with a moment of my sharing, something that I experienced. We facilitate a healing class through the Zoom platform, and it was pleasing to see everybody their progress. Typically, we instruct the healing class face-to-face setting, but with the current pandemic that's going on and everything, we moved it to the Zoom platform. So what they're learning to do is distance healing. And the way this is taking place is they're learning to, when they meditate, they're learning to remember that sense of love, that feeling that they experienced when they experienced love, and to recall that and to rest in that. And as they do that, they're also learning to become aware of the flow within the body. A lot of the traditional Chinese medicine, their approaches and modalities and such, they're all focused on the movement of qi, or the life force. And that's what they're learning to do. They feel that sensation. A lot of times it starts at the crown chakra and it just works its way down. And they're learning to move that within their body and then to move it out of the palms of their hands. And today was their first time of experiencing that, and they were quite good at it. They were able to sense the person's biofield that they were focusing on. They could feel it. They could feel the sensations in their hands. It was very, very pleasing, at least on my part as an instructor. This is all new. We're trying a lot of new things here. So, would anyone like to share an event in their life during the week? So we're going to go into the healing portion of our service. I will say a healing prayer, and then I will recite our healing affirmation. And then we will go into our guided meditation. Now, as I am saying these prayers, please keep these names in mind: Heather, Jenny, Teresa, Marty, Pete, Paul, Josh, Valerie, Shirley, Brad, Jessica, Marie and her husband, Anita, Ernest, Colin, Bobby and Mark, Keegan, Dawn, Cheryl, Judy and John, and David. We call upon thee, Father, Mother Gods. We call upon thy power, thy healing power, and we request that it emanate forth, that it shine forth upon those who are in need, to bring clarity to those who are confused, to those who are blind, to bring healing to those who are ill, to those who experience disease. We ask that this light, this power shine upon those who are lost, those who have chosen to live in the streets, those who are in darkness, to bring light to them, to shine upon those in the prisons and in the nursing homes and in the hospitals, those who are empowered to bring clarity to their thought. We ask these things and much more, for we know, like the man weak and old, who was sick and was told, "Take thy bed, rise and walk, you are whole." God will help us today in the same loving way. Faith in God brings us blessings untold. God is healing us now with his infinite power. We can feel Jesus' presence by us. What a wonderful peace that God's love brings to us. We are whole and free. Amen. As we go into our guided meditation, I ask that you remember that sensation of love when you felt love, to remember that, to call it up and to rest in that, and to keep in mind that where the mind goes, so goes the life force. Rest within mind. Allow its thoughts and visions to enter. This is the nature of mind. Mind is not within us. Mind is all around, moving to and fro like tides of the ocean. Mind experiences past and future as though they were one. Today, right now, this very moment, direct mind into yesterday. It is not the ordinary that attracts mind. The mundane exists at the place of meeting. It is the electrical, the exhilarating, the exposition that draws mind. It is the emotional buoys we cast, reminders of that we seek to forget. Today, we shall remember.
These gifts of despair we need not keep. It is not the emotion we seek to resolve. We must look deeper. We must see why we took on the burden. Only then may we understand. Only then may we return the gift. Observe. With understanding comes wisdom. With wisdom comes awareness. With awareness comes healing. It is time to let go. Time to let go and rest. Time to let go and heal. Time to let go. It is time to let go.
It's time to return. Move your fingers about. Move your toes about. Roll your head on your shoulders. Anything that returns you once more to this plane. This is our time of sharing. If you would like to share your experience with the meditation, I would like to share something briefly. When they said, "This is your path," I immediately saw a signpost. I found it rather amusing. It's one of the things that I tell people, that I tell the students, that all I am is a signpost on their path. This is the message portion of our service. Would you like a message?
Sure.
All right. You know, what I'm presented here is I'm presented a doorway, and as the door is opened, but you're already past it. So I'm not sure what this is entailing, because typically doorways represent opportunities. But this may have something to do with an opportunity that you have created. And I will say God bless to you with that. If anyone else would like a message, you can find us on Facebook, Spiritualist Circle of Light. You can contact us through Messenger. You can also contact us through our email, which is Spiritualist Circle of Light at gmail.com. We're going to move into our discussion, and we are continuing to discuss the secret book of John, the Gnostic Gospel. I want to remind you that when this was written, it was not written for Christians. It was, that theme was added later. So a lot of this, if you actually have the opportunity to read it, a lot of it will become confusing because they get terms mixed up. They go back and forth. Sometimes it can be messy to figure out. But a brief recap here. As the secret book of John opened up, it said that spirit represented unity. And as we moved through this and explored this, we discovered that spirit may also be the life experience, and that the life experience could also be described as light. Light symbolizes intelligence, making experience intelligence. It's not the intellect. As I said earlier, in some of my earlier writings, I indicated that the light represented the intellect. Well, I was wrong with that. It's not the intellect that the light represents. The light represents intelligence. And the difference between the two is that the intellect merely represents the tools, whereas intelligence is the application, the use of the tools. So, as we continue with this, it, meaning spirit, seeks only itself in the it seeks only itself in the perfection of light and comprehends the pure light. So we have a natural attraction taking place here. Everything in the universe tends to be drawn towards or attract all that is similar to it. So the light, intelligence, experience is being attracted to itself. It seeks itself. It seeks more experience. It seeks more intelligence. But not to understand itself, because it is itself. You can't necessarily understand yourself. No, that's not coming out right. You cannot misunderstand yourself, because you are yourself. Still doesn't sound right. I'm not sure how to present it, but the light seeks itself because it seeks to unify. And that is what it does. It unifies. That's what life does. It unifies us. So what is it that we seek? We seek experience. That's all that's available is experience, and we seek it out. I'm not talking about those people who are thrill seekers, but we go out amongst others, we socialize with others, because it's the experience that draws us out. It's the experience that attracts us. So, what is the only thing that the experience of life or spirit desires? Spirit, or experience. I must apologize, I'm not thinking properly. So life seeks out life. And the life experience, our experience, seeks out experience because it's all part of its nature. Intelligence is seeking information, seeking experience, seeking more. It's attracted. And why it's attracted? it's in its nature. It's just like the nature of mind is to produce thoughts. The nature of the body is movement. Everything has its nature. Even an idea has its nature. And why is it that we seek out experience? It's because we have a desire to understand ourselves, to understand others, to understand why these things happen to us. Why is this happening to me? We have that desire to understand. It draws us out. So when we talk about experience, we're only talking about ourselves, because only you can experience what you experience. We can draw from another's experience, but we can never have that experience because it's not ours. It's theirs. We can draw insight from their experience, but we can never truly understand it. There are times when I have experiences, particularly with meditations, and the sensations, the revelations, they're difficult to explain. They're difficult to put to words. In healing class that we facilitated earlier, one of the experiences with the meditation that we used was the sensation of hairs, tiny hairs, just sticking out or reaching out from the body. The sensation, it's just hard to describe. It was like wearing a piece of clothing, but not, because clothing has weight to it. This didn't, but the sensation was like that. So our experience of life, keep in mind here, spirit seeks only itself and the perfection of light, and comprehends the pure light. Our experience, your experience, is pure. And what makes it pure is because it is your experience. No one can corrupt that. No one can add to that, can take away from that, because it is your experience. Just like they have their experience, and no one can take away from it. It's simply theirs. It's pure. Another thing about experience is experience exists at one point in time. You can't have an experience in the past. You can't have an experience in the future. You can only have an experience right here, right now. What you are seeing, what you are hearing is your experience. And I can stumble on my words all I want, but I still cannot corrupt that experience because it is yours. As we continue with this, we're going to move into something that's even more confusing, if you found this to be confusing. Because remember, I said that the secret book of John was written before Christianity took hold, and then one of the monks or priests, whoever who was editing it, added Christian aspects to it, which makes it confusing. So in the secret book of John, it indicates that it, meaning spirit, has no part in an aeon. And here its aeon is immeasurable, existing in rest and reposing in silence. Now, as we discovered in our earlier talk, aeon represents a time, a stage, a time frame. In the present is always the present. There is no time frame to it. It simply is. So we're recommending that we ignore that term and focus on the rest. focus on existing in rest and reposing in silence. So to rest is to cease movement, while repose is to be tranquil. So the life experience, our experience, does not move. When we awaken to it and begin to see this, begin to observe this, we see that the experience does not move. Intelligence does not move. Energy does not move. We create the sensation of movement. You could say that we are the ones that move. The experience simply is as we move through it from past to present. But that's a poor description. It's adequate, but it's a poor description. But when we awaken to our experience, when we're able to observe it, perhaps even in a detached fashion, we find that it is a continuous state of peace. It is tranquil. It does not move. It is mind, which is a part of us, our essence. That is what moves. The nature of the body is movement. The nature of mind is thought. The nature of spirit is unity. And the only place where unity truly exists is in the present. And when we are silent, whether it's in meditation, deep thought, sleep, the experience tends to be one of tranquility. Light does not move. It illuminates while resting. It reposes in a single point. The present, right here, right now. We do not experience light or intelligence in the past, but we remember the brilliance of light. So we remember the experience as though it were in the past. We don't see the light in the future, but we anticipate its illumination. It only exists here. And because it exists here, it brings peace of mind and security. Light is another descriptor for spirit. Spirit, light, life only exists in the present. Neither are tools. They're not tools that we use. They are the result of the application of tools. Thinking is a tool. It's the application of the intellect which brings about intelligence. But spirit and the light, they both represent states of wakefulness. And in order for us to understand, they require a measure of awareness. Because this experience that we are having is what many call the divine intelligence. And I'm going to leave off right there. And I want you to keep in mind with this. All I do is present thoughts, ideas, things for you to think about. You don't have to agree with any of this. It may not fit. Parts of it may fit. And it's those parts that you should take with you and put where they fit best. Leave the rest. You move into the portion of our service where we ask for donations, seeds, we ask that you leave some seeds with us. You can do so at our website, which is birdandsky.com. That is BRDNSKY.com. We have a PayPal button there for you. If you are uncomfortable with donations through the internet, you can always use the mail. Just make any donations you wish to send us, make that out to the Spiritualist Circle of Light. Everything goes to the church. For our announcements, we have a healing class that is going on. We're wrapping that up. There's 5 more sessions left on that. That meets on the 2nd and 4th Saturday. We also have a dream class going on Thursdays. That's at 7 o'clock. We are putting together a class on symbols using the classic Rider-Waite Tarot deck. We're still putting that together. There are other affiliations that are holding, or rather conducting, classes and events through the Zoom platform. You can find links to those places at our website. Please visit our website. There's videos, plenty of articles for you to read and such. Going to close our service with prayer. With collected minds, we are at the command of the divine, that we may obtain blessedness. Amen. The opening and closing prayers are from the Svetasvatara Upanishad. And I apologize if I butchered that name. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for allowing me to share.